Midnight cries, haunted by a restless child, sleep eludes me. Have you ever found yourself tossing and turning in bed, desperately trying to fall asleep, only to be visited by nightmares that seem so real? Your heart races, your breath quickens, and every creak and groan in your house sends shivers down your spine. It's a feeling of pure terror that grips your entire being, leaving you paralyzed with fear. This is the story of one such night, a night when I was haunted by a restless child, and sleep eluded me. The moon was hidden behind dark clouds, casting an eerie shadow upon the world outside. As I lay in bed, my mind began to wander, contemplating the mysteries of the night. That's when I heard it, a faint sound that seemed to be coming from the hallway outside my room. At first, I dismissed it as the wind or a figment of my imagination, but as the sound grew louder, I couldn't ignore it any longer. It was a cry, a soft whimper that echoed through the empty house. I strained my ears, trying to decipher the source of this haunting sound. Was it a lost child, in need of help? Fear coursed through my veins as I mustered up the courage to investigate. I slowly made my way out of bed, tiptoeing towards the hallway. Each step I took seemed to echo through the house, amplifying the unease that had settled within me. The crying grew louder and more desperate, like the wails of a forsaken soul. It was a sound that pierced through the silence of the night, sending a chill down my spine. With a trembling hand, I reached for the doorknob of my son's room. As I pushed the door open, a gust of cold air rushed through the hallway, chilling me to the bone. The room was empty, but the crying persisted, growing louder and more insistent with each passing moment. It was then that I realized the source of this haunting melody, a child's toy, long forgotten and abandoned. The toy lay on the floor, its batteries nearly drained, but still emitting a faint cry that echoed through the room. It was a doll, a once innocent and cherished companion, now transformed into a vessel of terror. Its eyes were lifeless, devoid of any warmth or humanity. I picked it up, hoping to silence its mournful cries, but it only intensified, growing louder and more desperate. As I held the doll, I couldn't help but feel its malevolence seeping into my very soul. It was as if the spirit of a restless child had possessed this toy, seeking solace and release from its eternal torment. The cries became deafening, reverberating through the walls and filling the house with a sense of dread that was impossible to escape. In a desperate attempt to find peace, I reached for my phone and dialed a local paranormal investigator. They arrived promptly, armed with an arsenal of equipment to detect any otherworldly presence. The investigator surveyed the room, his face etched with concern. He shared anecdotes of past encounters with haunted toys, recounting tales of innocent objects turned malevolent by vengeful spirits. As he conducted his investigation, the cries of the doll grew louder, as if challenging the investigator's authority. He explained that sometimes, the spirits of restless children latch onto objects they once held dear, unable to find peace in the afterlife. These tormented souls seek solace and attention, their cries echoing through the night, haunting the living. In an attempt to appease the spirit, the investigator began a ritual to cleanse the doll of its malevolence. The air grew thick with anticipation as he chanted ancient incantations, calling upon the spirits to release the child's restless soul. The doll trembled in my hands, its cries reaching a fever pitch before suddenly stopping. Silence descended upon the room, broken only by the investigator's heavy breaths. The doll lay still, its eyes now empty and lifeless, as if the spirit had finally found peace. The investigator assured me that the house was now free from the restless child's haunting presence, but the memory of that night still lingers, etched into my very soul. To this day, I find it hard to sleep, plagued by the memories of that haunting cry. Every creak and groan in my house sends shivers down my spine, reminding me of the darkness that once enveloped my life. I find solace in the daylight, but as the sun sets, and the world is shrouded in darkness, I can't help but wonder if I will ever truly find peace. So, my friend, as you lay in bed tonight, drifting off to sleep, I implore you to cherish each peaceful moment, for you never know when a restless child may come knocking at your door, their cries echoing through the night, haunting your very existence. Sleep tight, if you can, for the night is full of mysteries, waiting to be revealed.